What makes a memorable Minecraft YouTube video? Is it the creator themselves, or the elements within the video? Over the last few years, music has risen to the forefront of crucial elements within an MCYT video, often without viewers noticing how important music is to the content they consume. For a majority of creators, music is a key factor in defining their content, whether background, intentional, or a key element their video would not succeed without. When the viewer watches the video, music can be the deciding factor to whether the viewer clicks away or sticks around to watch. In recent years, music within the MCYT space has evolved to resonate with the viewer, enhance storytelling, and craft a specific narrative that would be impossible without the intentional choices of certain tracks. With these creative directions, music has become one of the most imperative elements in a Minecraft upload. Of course, not every facet of MCYT can be explored. There are hundreds of sub-communities within MCYT, and exploring every single one's relationship to music is impossible. In this essay, each of the three main types will be discussed and analyzed to better understand what a successful video in the MCYT sphere is. Before that discussion, a brief overview of the history of music in MCYT and the recent involvements will be given. With the ability to monetize content on YouTube, many creators dedicate time into making their videos as retention and algorithm-friendly as possible. From clickbait thumbnails to certain editing styles, every element of a YouTube video has been ticked down to a science, sometimes to the detriment of creativity. In the Minecraft community, study of the algorithm has been no exception. Some creators, such as Carl Jacobs, follow the tried-and-true Mr. Beast style of over-editing, packing each minute with content built specifically to keep the viewer completely hooked. Other creators, like Watto1876, have worked against the retention standards to create content of a more unique style. For most MCYT creators, they fall somewhere between the two ends of the spectrum. As a key element, music in the Minecraft space has evolved over time. In the earlier years of MCYT, music often was not added, instead relying on the in-game Minecraft music itself, which, while a masterpiece, did not reinforce the creator's content. Today, most MCYT videos utilize certain DMCA free tracks to underscore the tone of their videos. Textbook examples of this can be found in many of Grian's, Smallish Bean's, or TommyInnit's videos. In these cases, the music typically stays upbeat, is often used repetitively throughout the video and in subsequent videos, and is used as a simple tool to match the content on screen. Notably, these videos do not have much storytelling. The music is there to support the entertainment, but does not become a key in their videos. However, thanks to the reinforced usage of certain tracks, it becomes easy to identify songs with a certain creator. For TommyInnit, the Able Sisters track is an example, while Grian and Smallish Beans use the same, easily recognizable track in many of their build montages. As a general rule, Grian's videos stay relatively PG. Under these circumstances, Grian's content rarely dips into a deeper storyline, since the heavy undertones could turn away younger viewers and parents. However, in 2021, a new meta emerged, encouraged by the roleplay drama of the Dream SMP, and started to shape itself thanks to a couple experimental moves made by MCYTers, including Grian. During Grian's Third Life finale, an unexpected shift in his music heightened the emotional ending of a series. Rather than ending the series on the usual upbeat, Grian recognized the potential his series had to tell a story, and took the opportunity. Someone to Save by Timothy Lewis, a track licensed under Epidemic Sound, became the farewell to Third Life. The song gave the viewer hope and despair, as the melodies and chords of the song bid the viewer to stew in what had occurred. Song usage in this way was not common yet, with other members of the series barely editing in music, if at all. During Limited Life, In the Littlewood attempted a similar stunt, adding a suspenseful track moments before he betrayed the final two players left to win the series. In the rest of the MCYT space, classic tracks including songs from Animal Crossing or Undertale dominated storytelling videos. Grian and Martin were ahead of their time, but ultimately they never took the plunge into the groundbreaking usage seen today. When considering their audience, this makes sense, although many of their fans greatly enjoyed the dramatic shift. For this discussion, music use in MCYT has been categorized into three different types of music form. The first type of music has already been discussed above. Type A, the expected conventional, includes creators who use classic, non-DMCA music for their videos, or do not use their music for narrative-driven storytelling. Many hermits, life-stealers, and content creators within Empire's SMP are classed here. In many cases, tracks overlap between creators, reminding of the constraints of DMCA, or, to the informed viewer, confirming the creator subscribes to a music service to safely use music without fear of a DMCA notice. When listening to the music in these videos, it becomes quickly apparent that music, for creators in Type A, isn't a relied-on aspect for their content beyond retention. To understand the key difference between Type A and Type B creators' music decisions, careful consideration must be made to the content both types of YouTubers make. Where Type A keeps their stories lighthearted, with a focus on the game instead of a plotline, Type B, the plot-driven unexpected, delves into Minecraft roleplay, MCRP, and heavily focuses on telling a lore-driven story. In these cases, the creators still use DMCA-free songs, but each song is chosen carefully with the goal of pushing their narrative forward. The flair and personality of the creator shines through each song, and in some cases completely changes the perception of the content. One example of Type B can be found from Pentar, an up-and-coming YouTuber with 76.9k subscribers at the time of writing. From his first upload, Pentar's sense for understanding how important music choices sticks out. A montage of placing fences times perfectly with the beat in the background, drawing attention to the content in the video, and therefore raising the retention rate. In many of his videos, Pentar uses music to create a signature for himself, and shapes his own narrative. In his recent series, dubbed The Secrets Trilogy, Pentar takes the events of Lifesteal SMP and crafts a specific narrative, all wrapped around his teammate E-Corridor. Without the music in certain scenes, heavy emotions and nuance is lost, and when added, the viewer feels every ounce of what Pentar feels. For one scene, Pentar struggles morally with the balance of lying to E-Corridor for personal gain versus giving up violence for peace with E-Corridor. Pentar chose to use the track Forgotten by Even Honer, with the following lyrics.
If I'm gone, will they remember how they watched me burn down to embers? Or will they make up a lie and tell everyone I was a great guy?
This is far from the first time Honer has appeared on Pentar's channel, especially as insight into Pentar's characters. Songs from Honer are used at the rawest moments of each video, typically just once. So Pentar's choice to use his music is intentional, with lyrics from Honer's songs heightening emotions, relatability, and heartbreak from the viewer. Beyond that, Pentar does use Epidemic Sound and Music Bed, but specifically uses tracks that flow perfectly with the scenes in his videos. These choices reminisce to Grian and Martin's moments in the Life series, but Pentar keeps the tone throughout the video, choosing to step into territory that is somewhat unexplored. Other creators headed in their own unique directions include Wifey's ARG videos, where he uses tracks to heighten the horror of his videos, Dumb is Dumb, who uses a style similar to Pentar, and Watto1876. For Watto, her music use is almost exclusively video game OST, especially Minecraft, but used in a way that directly contradicts the retention meta of YouTube. Another worthy mention of a Type B creator is Wembu. His Unstable Universe series uses non-DMCA music in a narrative-driven style, with each upload raising the bar for himself on how carefully music choices are made. Unsurprisingly, he's recently been following in his co-creator's footsteps, which may soon place him in the Type C category. Each of these styles encourages the viewer to connect with the character on screen in a deeper, more meaningful way than the Type A creators. And the reward is a video that drives plot forward through emotion and sound and stands out to the viewer. Because this is a newer type of meta, many creators stylizing their videos are smaller, but are quickly rising to mainstream MCYT. However, recently, a third type of music use has transcended the already high expectations for this category. Type C, the plot-driven groundbreakers, contains creators fashioning their music in ways previously completely unseen in the MCYT space. For this class of creators, it is difficult to compare and contrast because the unique directions each of them have taken sets them apart from each other as much as it places them firmly in the same category. In many cases, the creativity has proved lucrative, with fans praising the effort and recognizing their intent. However, some in this category have faced backlash and misunderstandings from fans about the intent and purpose of songs used. This raises a question: is taking the risk with drastic narrative music worth it? Additionally, where does the line for success versus failure fall? What decides whether or not music in a video matches the narrative or fails to meet it? One of the first creators to push into unexplored territory, Ivory Cello, found her niche in pre-written scripted content. Ivory's White Pine series launched last summer, shortly after her return to content after a hiatus. As soon as the first episode aired, one of the notable aspects fans noticed was the use of original piano music. The tracks held a weight to them previously not found in MCYT, and matched Ivory's story in a way no other track could. Ivory not only wrote, directed, and edited White Pine, but also composed and recorded the piano tracks herself. They are crucial to White Pine, tied in with a piano in the episodes, and often the music accompanies plot-relevant montages of moments in the series. Each track is mixed to sound like an older song, as if the musician is part of the world on screen. Without these tracks, White Pine would not hold the audience as well, nor would the series have the early 1920s atmosphere nailed down. White Pine has proven itself to be a success, with episodes releasing every month or so and fans consistently praising the music. Parallel to Ivory, Ovid MC's Skyblock Kingdom series contains tracks composed by him for the series. However, Ovid combines non-DMCA tracks with them, and his songs have lyrics sung by himself. As a much smaller creator than Ivory, Ovid's work has gone nearly unnoticed by the greater MCYT community. Nonetheless, it firmly falls into the Type C category. For Parrot X2, shifting from Type B to Type C music use started with his exit from Lifesteal SMP, when he posted an edited compilation of his time on the server, starting from his first season all the way up to his final. For the first time on Parrot's channel, an overarching narrative took the forefront, with the video clocking over 3 hours of runtime compared to usual 20-minute videos. This step over the threshold of storytelling marked the start of a new meta: custom soundtrack commissioning. Parrot commissioned someone to make tracks that could better accompany his narrative than tracks that he could find. At the time, not much note was taken of the decision, nor did Parrot repeat the choice until 6 months later. By that point, Unstable Universe, a scripted SMP, was well underway. Every episode fell firmly into Type B, but Parrot's musical decisions gained attention, with fans commenting on the immersive song choices that transcended other MCYT scripted content. Starting in September of 2024, Parrot chose to start commissioning artists for parts of his videos, and has not stopped since. The use of custom soundtrack in his Unstable series birthed a new meta that can now increasingly be seen in a few other creators' videos. Parrot ensured the connection between the story and viewers was as coupled as possible by using the custom soundtrack, following the same meta that movies today use. Emotions from the viewer heightened, retention rates rose, and the viewer cared about the story at a greater level than before. Additionally, the story itself is strengthened. By using tracks the way he does, Parrot instills expectations in the viewer, meets it, then is able to use that expectation to break it if needed. The risk of breaking expectations in MCYT editing and meta is a potentially career-devastating play in the YouTube sphere. When a creator breaks against the standard or decides to try something experimental, the uncertainty and danger of losing their audience heightens. Combined with the ever-changing inhuman algorithm, taking a leap of faith completely differently to any other creator can lead to backlash, and is likely the reason many creators stray away from risking it. The final creator to discuss as an example for Type C is Spoka's Here, a third perspective of Unstable Universe. By the end of last season, Spoke's videos also fell into Type B. At the start of Season 2, however, Spoke tried out an unconventional use of music, repeated overuse of commonly used tracks on YouTube, mostly by Kevin MacLeod. This sparked debate amongst the viewers. What was the purpose of such a decision? Why use tracks that did not match the narrative on the screen? Please stop doing these vids. Mafia vids were so much more fun to watch. I'm convinced Spoke has gotten too lazy to find music for his videos. Bruh, this is so obvious it's scripted. I can't stop noticing things that it's not real. You just had to think about it more before doing it, bruh. Just stop with this. Scripted, unfollow, and thumbs down. This is the most cringiest video I've ever seen in your videos. Please stop with the 100-day vids. Bad vid. This video is so fake, it's boring and cringe. Not gonna lie, this bass saga was... By video 2, most fans were annoyed with Spoke, and on video 3, the majority of comments left in the first few hours were hate-filled or misunderstanding his intention. All 5 of the figures above are screenshots taken from Spoke's final 100 Days video. Comments filled with more vicious hatred have been deleted by Spoke or pushed down by YouTube's algorithm due to community effort. However, by watching the series with a critical mind and an understanding that Spoke chose the music for the narrative, it quickly becomes apparent that the choice was made to match his character's mental well-being. Spoke's character, quite literally, is losing his mind, and every single track used pushes a dissociative feeling to look away from what is really happening. As the episodes progress, Spoke's plan takes forefront, with the visuals, narration, and music all combining together to form a fractured narrative. As Spoke's mental state deteriorates, the viewer feels and experiences it with him. The moment Spoke snaps to reality, the music also snaps out of the repetitive overuse. Track use like this elevates Spoke into Type C, with no creators attempting something similar. However, the backlash and hatred spewed in his YouTube comments and on various social media sites remind of why risks are not often taken. Many viewers have not picked up on the reasoning for Spoke's editing, but some are starting to understand. In the future, Spoke will likely bring his audience back around, but the chances of seeing Spoke take another groundbreaking chance like this is low, given the amount of backlash and viewers who refuse to look deeper. What defines failure versus success in Type C? It certainly isn't views. Every cello averages less than 450,000 views per White Pine upload, and yet was the most suggested creator by members of the community when asked for examples of unique music usage in MCYT. Ovid MC averages around 3,000 to 5,000 views per video, but has a strong community built up that actively engages and appreciates his music. On the flip side, neither Parrot nor Spoke have any Unstable Universe uploads under 1 million views, but Spoke has faced more controversy regarding his music than any other creator mentioned. If success in music use is decided by community response, Spoke's experiment could be a failure. It is a mark of character that these creators have not moved to exclusively music usage that definitively works within the elusive algorithm. Thus, the answer to the success question is subjective. For Ovid and Ivory, their experiments are successful because their communities are established and appreciative of the story built with the music. For Parrot, success is found in the community's love for his story and immersion, and the spread of custom music commissioning. As for Spoke, an argument could be made that his success is more in the self-satisfaction of telling the story his own way and in the comments of the individuals who recognize the potential in his music choices. To conclude, what decides the success of any creator when it comes to their music choices? Depending on the type of creator, this changes person to person. Type B creators find their success in high engagement levels with their audience and in the emotional connection their viewers reach with their character. Additionally, Type B creators can mark success in how their music visibly affects the narrative, pushing their story to new heights for the viewer to enjoy. Success for Type B is attention, acknowledgement, and discussion of their story. As for Type A, the connection and plot is less relevant, and thus, their success in music use is more dependent on ensuring their videos meet the mark in other ways. As the MCYT community changes, so does the meta, and currently, Type B and Type C are on the rise. Several creators have recently started commissioning custom soundtrack, as creators analyze what's working to draw in audiences. Type A creators are in no trouble when it comes to audience, but their music use is currently stagnant. As the new generation of creators starts to rise, the music meta will continue evolving. And for now, the future is bright for MCYT storytelling and MCRP.